Welcome to a deep dive into a world ravaged by this super flu. They call it Captain Trips. It's wiped out most of humanity, and what's left is this, like chilling silence. We're talking abandoned cars, towns completely deserted, some totally untouched, others just torn apart by violence. Your source material, it's almost like a stack of postcards from the edge of oblivion. And that's what we're doing today.
Yeah.
Piecing together these fragments to uncover the stories buried within.
You know, it's funny. The thing about these fragmented narratives is they kind of demand something from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as readers, or in this case, listeners, we got to be active participants. We're forced to become detectives.
Oh, I like that.
Archaeologists of the imagination.
Ooh.
We're sifting through these remnants, trying to reconstruct this whole world.
A world that once was.
Exactly.
What?
And maybe, just maybe, if we're lucky, we catch a glimpse of what might be yet to come.
It really is a lot like combing through the ruins of a civilization. We're trying to decipher those clues left behind. So let's start with the landscape. The text mentions cars just littered across the roads, like fallen dominoes. Ghost towns baking under this empty sky. It's bleak.
Bleak is a good word for it.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I think it really taps into some of our deepest fears. Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
This fragility of our own existence.
Right.
That everything we take for granted could just vanish.
Like that.
In an instant. I mean, you remember those early days of COVID?
Oh, yeah.
Empty streets, grocery store shelves, just bare.
Yeah.
It was a glimpse.
It was like a preview.
It was a chilling preview.
Yes.
Of how quickly things can unravel.
And in the middle of all this desolation, we meet Nick. He's mute, trying to navigate this new world without language, which I can't even imagine.
Right. To talk about an added layer of complexity.
Absolutely.
To his struggle.
Yeah, and yet he forms this bond, this incredible bond with Tom, who's mentally challenged, who sees the world completely differently.
What I think is so fascinating about their relationship is what it tells us about connection.
Yeah.
The power of connection,
Yeah.
even when things are at their most extreme.
Right.
Nick's silence. Now, you would think that would be a barrier,
Yeah.
but it actually becomes this bridge between them because it forces him to find these new ways to communicate,
Yeah.
to rely more on intuition, on empathy.
Right.
And in doing so, I think he unlocks something, a depth of understanding he might never have tapped into otherwise.
It makes you wonder if when you're stripped down, when there's a crisis, it strips away all the pretense, reveals our true selves.
Or maybe it amplifies what was already there.
Oh, interesting.
Take Larry Underwood.
Okay.
He's the musician we encounter.
Okay.
He's wrestling with addiction, haunted by all these past mistakes.
Uh-huh.
And it's almost like the collapse of society becomes this external representation
Yes.
of his internal turmoil.
Like this echo.
Exactly.
Yeah, and speaking of resilience, we also meet Fran Goldsmith,
Oh, yeah.
a pregnant woman,
Well,
just trying to make it through this desolate landscape. And talk about pressure.
Yeah.
She's not just trying to survive for herself, but for this life growing inside of her.
right.
Talk about a whole other dimension to this fight for survival.
Absolutely. And Fran's journey, it brings up these questions about
Yeah.
motherhood, sacrifice, this responsibility
Yeah.
of bringing a life into a world
That's on the brink.
that's teetering on the brink. And we see her struggling, grappling with the loss of loved ones, clinging to hope while facing these just unimaginable challenges. I think it's a real testament to the human spirit, this fierce instinct
To protect.
and to nurture, even in the direst of circumstances.
You know, as I was going through these pieces, these fragments, it really struck me. We're not just looking at like individual stories of survival. There are these threads,
Oh, absolutely.
these recurring things, almost like whispers of something bigger going on
Yeah.
at play, you know?
It's like we're being given these breadcrumbs.
Right.
And we're trying to follow the trail
Exactly.
to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Like, take that creepy ledger
Oh, yeah.
hidden in Harold Lauder's house,
Ugh.
just full of these disturbing fantasies about Franny.
Right.
It reveals this dark side to him.
It's chilling
Right.
because you think he's being helpful,
Yeah, totally.
but underneath it all.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. It shows how quickly things can go bad,
Yeah.
how easily desperation can twist into something really dangerous.
This isn't just a world dealing with the aftermath of a pandemic.
Right.
The lines between good and evil,
They're blurred.
they're completely blurred.
Totally.
Survival hinges on these choices,
Yeah.
with consequences we can't even fathom.
And you know, a lot of those choices
Yeah.
are shaped by the encounters these characters have
Right.
along the way. Think about Larry's dream.
Okay.
That recurring dream he has of the black man.
Okay. Yeah.
It terrifies him,
Yeah.
but it also compels him, like it's calling to him or something.
This black man thing is really, it's really sticking with me.
Yeah.
What if it's not just a dream?
Right.
What if it's some kind of premonition? Like this figure represents, I don't know,
Yeah.
this encroaching darkness.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
And you can't forget about Tom Cullen
Right.
and the visions that he has.
Yeah, his visions.
Now they're cryptic,
Oh, yeah.
but I think they point to something,
Yeah.
a deeper understanding
Okay.
of what's really going on.
Right.
Like he's tapped into something
This other layer.
that we don't quite get yet.
Yeah.
And his ability to communicate in dreams,
Right.
to go beyond language.
Yeah.
It suggests there's a different way to see the world, you know?
Yeah. Right.
One that maybe allows him to sense
Yeah.
the forces at play.
And speaking of forces at play, we have that date, October 28th.
Oh, yeah.
Keeps popping up.
Right.
Always with the snow.
Always.
It's like this countdown.
Like this ominous.
But to what?
Exactly. It's like the text is messing with us on purpose,
Right.
creating this sense of dread,
Yeah.
this foreboding. This date could be anything.
Right.
A turning point, some kind of confrontation.
Right.
Or maybe, just maybe, it's a revelation.
We're putting together this puzzle,
We are.
and we don't have all the pieces.
Not even close.
Not even close. And then, just when you think you're starting to see the bigger picture,
Yeah.
Mother Abigail shows up
Right.
out of nowhere.
Seemingly out of nowhere.
This elderly woman.
Right.
And people flock to her.
They're drawn to her.
She seems to represent hope, faith,
Okay.
but we don't really know anything about her.
We don't know her motivations.
Her motivation.
She's a total enigma.
She is.
And I think that just adds another layer to it all.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and on the one hand, she is this, I don't know, she embodies this desire for guidance.
Okay.
Like, we want someone to lead us out of
Out of this mess.
out of this darkness. But at the same time, you have this unease.
Right.
Like, is this really the right path?
Is this the way?
Yeah, is this the answer?
Right.
Or is there something else going on?
It's like this primal need to believe in something
Right.
bigger than ourselves.
Especially when we're faced with the unknown.
Exactly. But what happens
Yeah.
when that belief is tested?
What happens when faith becomes fanaticism?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right.
That's a question
Yeah.
that has haunted us
Since the beginning.
since the dawn of time.
Ever, ever.
And it takes on a whole new meaning, a new urgency in this world
Yeah.
where the old rules,
They don't apply.
they don't apply anymore.
And then everything just, I don't know, it shifts somehow.
Yeah.
Like the story, the narrative, it's like
Yeah.
it gets infected by all the chaos.
Yeah.
Mother Abigail, she disappears.
Oh, man.
And everyone's left reeling.
Yeah.
The community in Boulder.
They thought they were safe.
I know. Their sense of security just gone.
It's heartbreaking in a way
It is.
because it's like, just as you think maybe, just maybe there's some hope,
I know.
it's snatched away.
It's like the rug pulled out from under you.
Exactly.
And you see it in everyone, like this doubt creeping,
Mm.
old wounds reopening.
Yeah, it's like all that trauma
Right.
bubbles back up to the surface.
And on the other side, you have Randall Flagg
Right, the dark man
consolidating his power.
in Vegas, of all
Yeah.
places.
Right.
It's like this haven for the lost and the desperate.
He's drawing people to him, promising, I don't know,
Power.
power, yeah, or a return to order,
Control?
or a chance to, like, rewrite all the rules.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Right.
Because the old world is gone.
Yeah.
So why not start fresh?
It's seductive, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
This idea of a clean slate.
But at what cost?
Right. And it's like that line, remember,
Which one?
where one of Flagg's followers, they call him the hard way. I mean, it just sends chills down my spine.
It's chilling.
Just thinking about it.
It makes you think about those leaders throughout history
Oh, yeah.
who rose to power by preying on people's fears.
Their prejudices, their need to belong.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, in that kind of situation,
Yeah.
would we be any different?
Would we be so quick to judge?
When we're desperate for someone, anyone to lead the way.
That's what makes the story so powerful.
It really is.
It's not black and white, you know?
Not at all.
There are no easy answers, no perfect heroes.
Right, even Stu,
Right.
who you'd think, classic good guy. He's
Yeah.
got his own flaws,
Yeah.
his own baggage.
And then there's Franny
Oh, man.
giving birth
Amidst all that.
in the middle of everything.
New life, literally.
I know. Talk about a powerful image.
It's like, what is it they say?
What?
Life Life finds a way.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
But what will that life look like? And what roles will these characters play?
Right. Will they rise to the occasion?
Or be swallowed by it all?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is. And as we come to the end of these fragments, these pieces,
Yeah.
we're left with this, I don't know, this sense of anticipation.
Okay.
Like we want a resolution.
Closure.
Yes, closure.
But maybe that's the point. Maybe it's not about tying everything up neatly.
Right.
Maybe the real journey,
Yeah.
it starts where the text ends.
In the silence between the lines.
Exactly. It's up to us now.
Gus.
Us, the readers, the listeners, to wrestle with it all.
With the implication.
The what ifs, the
And to
possibilities.
find our own meaning in it.
That's what makes fragmented narratives so powerful.
Oh, yeah.
They invite us to become part of the story.
We fill in the gaps with our own experiences.
Our hopes, our fears,
Exactly. And those stories, the ones that stay with us,
the ones we can't shake, even long after we've finished reading.
they're often the ones left unfinished.
The ones that keep us thinking, questioning.
So as we leave this world, reshaped by pandemic and choice,
What will you take with you?
what will you carry from this deep dive? A new understanding of our own fragility? Or maybe a deeper awareness of the darkness and the light?
That duality within us all.
Whatever it is, let it be a reminder.
A reminder that even in the face of chaos,
Even when everything falls apart,
a human spirit,
it endures.
the stories we tell,
The connections we make,
the choices, they all matter.
these are the threads that bind us, even in a world stripped bare.